In this video, we're going to go through and take a look at kitchens and bathroom layouts as far as needing um, ground fault circuit interrupters, or GFCIs, or a lot commonly known as GFI outlets. So you want to find that in your component listing, so single GFI. Typically, according to code, you want to go through place those about every 2 feet along where your countertops are in your kitchen, as well as to go through, because typically you have a lot of appliances, so about every 2 feet or so, no more than 4 feet when you want to go through and take a look at some of those. Some of the other things, refrigerator would go through and take a regular GFCI. Common appliances that would require what they call 220 volts would be your stove. So I've got a stove right here, and then I also have the dryer. So if you have a dryer that's not gas, if it's electric, it requires a 220. So same thing with your washer. I probably want to go through and place it. Just takes a regular outlet GFI in that particular area. And then what I need to do is take a look at having the 220. Now, Revit does not have a 220 symbol or one loaded in the Imperial Library, and it's actually kind of hard to find just the symbol that we need here. So we're actually just going to create one. So I'm going to go to the Annotate tab, Detail line. I want to choose Thin Lines. I'm going to go ahead and make a circle. And what I'm going to kind of do here is I'm going to kind of base this a little bit off about the same size as what our other outlets are going to go through and look like. So I'm going to go ahead and roughly get the same size. I'm going to move it outside the house here, just that way I don't accidentally move to anything else. Then I'm going to take under the detail line, I'm going to move back to line, and a 220 outlet symbol usually has, as it goes from, usually has 3 lines that kind of come out. And I'm going to make these go ahead and I'll adjust those here in a second. So I want these to all be the same length. And there's the symbol for a 220 hookup. So in this case, I'm going to highlight all of these. I'm going to go ahead and actually I need 2 of them. So I'm going to hit the copy command. And where I need to connect them at is I'm going to go ahead and choose the end of the lines. And I'm going to go in here and I'm going to place it onto the wall. So there's the 220 outlet there that should be for the stove. Then the only other one I have, I do need to rotate this one. So I can select it, rotate, choose which point I want to rotate it 180 degrees. And then I'm going to go ahead, select, do the move command. I'll choose the end of that middle line, and I'm going to move up here right behind my dryer, and I'll place that outlet. Okay, so there's the 220, how to do 220. So since the Revit doesn't have a symbol, we're going to go ahead and make one. All right, so you would also want some along the countertops and things like that, so to be able to plug into. If you need to go through and do something like this, so countertops, usually these are all wall hosted components. So I know a lot of times, let me see if I can just select, I'm gonna hold control and select my lines here. Let me do a copy, and let me pull this out. So here I have an outlet, and with my little with a text icon, let me see if I can go through and get this here. GFI. And I could go through and kind of rotate this into place. do my move command. I always like to choose the end of one of the lines. And then I could always go through and place it somewhere along like the countertop here or something. Again, if I need to go through and take a look at doing some adjustment, I could always rotate those. So here's that line. Here's this. Rotate from this point. And if I need to make a move, then I can always do that too. There we go. And then I can always take my GFI label and kind of place that in here as well. All right, so there, if you need, there's some different customization tools and things like that. Bathrooms, you do want to go through and think about placement for GFI outlets, like where would you go through and plug in some of your various like hair dryers, appliances, and things like that. You know, anything of that nature, you want to go through and kind of have those placed. Within 6 feet of this opening, we'll place one back here. But anywhere you have water hazard, that's where you're going to go through and place all those types of outlets. Okay. So this should go through and finish up how to place GFI, as well as making some custom symbols for any of the 220 appliances, so typically dryer and stove, and just continuing to develop your floor plan.